Greetings, my earthling friends. I bring a message to you from far beyond the galaxy. Not really, but that's all I could come up with today. And it's not because I'm overtired. I actually get some good sleep. But I'm getting close to frantic now. Not that I would really get frantic, but frenetic? Maybe frenetic is a good word. I'm getting hyped up because I've got a lot of preparation I got to finish here before I leave for North Conway, which I embark on my next production, which I'm getting a little excited for. It should be good to finally be able to perform this piece as well. But before I do, I would like to acknowledge everyone that was involved with the last production. You know, it was just one of those shows. It was one of those shows that you have a great time. Every bit of the process was a great time. From the time I found out about the auditions, the whole rehearsal process, the tech week, everything about it was fun. The people were fun. The people were great. I can't thank them all enough for such a great time. You know, everybody in the cast. Everybody was a pleasure to work with. I met some new people that I haven't met before, and they were great people. I'm so happy that I had the chance to do this. So I gotta thank Alan, his group, and Steve Short, who's a part of that, and George Peel for casting me in the role, and my castmates, Neil and Michelle and Donna, Dan, Bill. Somebody else that I just met, Ariel. You guys were great. Ariel, especially, she did my makeup. She took 10 years off of this mug, which is not easy to do anymore. Time is catching up to me. Although I will say that the lighting and this camera and lens certainly pulls out a lot of details that you might not even see if you were next to me in person. But anyway, that's not the important part. Ariel was really cool to work with. Ariel. Sometimes I say it wrong. But everybody was really cool. I've worked with Dan and Neil before, and Dan's a cool guy. Neil is a great guy. He's very funny. So is Dan. And Sue Schott, who I've known for a long time, kind of passed back and forth, but never had a chance to kind of work opposite her, which was great. It was a lot of fun. She's a great person. Very fun. Donna, Michelle, Bill, nice people. Michelle is a riot. This is one woman that has a laugh that just gets everybody laughing because she's so funny. She laughs at everything. She's just a fun person, even if she stole my cell phone. That wasn't nice. You shouldn't do that to a castmate, no matter how much they pick on you. But anyway, everything was really cool, and it was a great time. It was a great time. Even the strike was fine. You know what I mean? They kind of just whipped through everything and got ready and finished. It was nice. It was nice. Great time. So again, thank you everybody that was involved in it. Thank you for the people that came down to see it. People from North Conway drove down to see the show, which I was really appreciative of. If you get lazy, then your diction kind of just goes away. One thing to always be conscientious of. Whatever, you get the point. Anyway, I don't have a lot of time today because I got to pack up, get everything ready. I got to have all my costumes ready, and I have one thing I appreciated about this show was that I was in 2 different costumes for the entire show, and even though I had a quick costume change halfway through the second act, it was still an easy, manageable costume show. This one's going to be a little bit more difficult because I really don't come off the stage that much. So this would be a little bit of a challenge, and I got like 4 that I got to go through. And it's all beachwear, so it's not that hard, but it's still, I got to work it out because I haven't worked the details out yet. But I'll get past that, and I'm looking forward to seeing all those castmates once again who made me a card. They made me a handmade card, and they all signed it, drew little pictures on it, which actually was really cool. It was very cool that they did that, except for Jessie, who I will fix when I see her, because the message that I got from her was, you stink. That's what I got. My daughter, that's what she thinks of her father. She needs a kick in the pants, and that's what she's going to get. That's what she's going to get. Wait till I get home. She's a good kid. I tell you, if I had a daughter myself, I'd want her to be like this girl. She's a great girl. Everybody up in that cast is very good too. So I was very fortunate this time around that to have so many people, so many great people to work with, to share our stories together, to kind of, develop bonds with. I was very, very fortunate. There's a lot of people out there that are not as welcoming, not as genuine, a little bit more critical, maybe a little bit more negative. There's just those people. They're everywhere. It's not just theater. They're everywhere. And I was very fortunate not to have experienced that this time around. So thank you to everybody on the last show, and get ready for the people on my next show. I'm a-coming. Let's see. What else was there? One thing I will mention before I go is that I watched Star Trek last night. I was supposed to have dinner with, the Sunday night dinner friends, which they haven't been inviting me, so maybe I'm not their friend anymore. I don't know. Who knows? It's I stayed home instead and had I had a nice dinner at home with my family for a change, which I haven't for months. But I got to watch Star Trek, the new Star Trek movie, and I was kind of excited about watching it, but still held in that excitement. I didn't want to put any kind of expectations on it. I mean, I don't really remember anybody saying anything, whether they liked it or didn't like it or anything like that. So I kind of went in with okay, let's see what they do, and I'm watching, and they did a fantastic job with that movie. I was a Star Trek fan from the old days. I liked William Shatner, and I liked Spock, and I liked the conversations. I liked the continuity. I liked the friendships that were evolved, and the personalities that were involved with all those with that television show, and even the movies they did after were pretty good. But this movie, and J.J. Abrams specifically for directing this, he really understands filmmaking and storytelling. They are two separate things. That's why I say them separately, because there's one thing about making a big spectacle, about really bringing a scene to life, and it really doesn't have a lot to do with acting or relationships. That's a little bit more intimate and more personal. I mean, there's really about taking that audience's eye and bringing it where you want them to see it, and making things larger than life, and moving things rapidly, and so there's a certain storytelling technique even with cinematography, but it's also making those little relationships develop and happen, and knowing how to cut that right, and he does both well, and you don't see that all the time. You don't really see that. Some of the big big budget action films, you don't see it as much, and I was really appreciative of what I saw. All the characteristics were there, and watching these people develop their friendships and understanding and feeling what they may have. He did it right. He allowed the audience to feel instead of showing them what they should feel. He's very good filmmaker, I have to say. I can't remember everything else that he's done. I'd have to look it up, but I do remember some other things of his that were well too. But he did a fantastic job with Star Trek. It was worth seeing if anybody cares to see it. In any case, I was going to go on about Gene Kelly, even though I talked about him last time. There was more things that I was going to say about him, but I got to cut it short. I got to get going. A lot to pack. Long day, long night. It's going to be a tough week. Tough week coming up. So 9.5 minutes. All right, everybody out there, you should have a great day. That's what you should have, no matter what. It's beautiful weather. Brings a smile to some people's faces. Oh, pathetic. Gotta go now, kids. Stay cool.